Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to show you what I got from Ulta last week. I did a little haul because they gave us a 20% off coupon, so I decided to take advantage of it. Normally when they give us those coupons, I feel obligated to buy a whole bunch of stuff, treat myself, but I feel like this was a relatively sensible haul. I did maybe splurge on a couple of products. There's one product in here that's a repurchase, but then all the other products were either new to me or just something that I kind of wanted to treat myself to, but I still was pretty sensible in what I bought. This is the look that I did today with some of the products that I bought from Ulta. So not every single thing is brand new on my face, but most of the stuff is. So I'm going to show y'all what I bought and how I used them to come up with today's look. Let's jump right into it. Okay, my first product is actually a repurchase. This is something that I always replenish when I'm running out of the one that I'm currently using. This is the Too Faced Born This Way foundation in the shade Maple. Y'all see me use this on my channel a lot because this is my favorite everyday foundation. And my next new purchase is the NYX number 37 brush. This is the Can't Stop Won't Stop foundation brush. And it came out with the Can't Stop Won't Stop foundation. So I kind of wanted to repurchase this brush. This is the NYX number 3 brush. Yeah, number 3. And the adhesive in this brush is actually starting to wear out. So I was going to try this one again, but then I said, let me try this one. Now, as you guys can see, the brush heads are a little bit different. This is the new one that I just bought. The brush head is smaller, so I'm starting to wonder if I'm going to like this. I'm not sure, but I do like the fact that this one is kind of slanted. So I'm going to keep using the foundation that I'm currently trying to use up instead of opening the new one, but I'm going to apply it with my new NYX brush. And just so you'll know, this Too Faced foundation, it does retail for $39 and this NYX brush was $15. So I'm just gonna blend it out with this new brush. And just as I suspected, this particular brush compared to this one, the one that I'm using is a bit more stiff, but I do still think it's doing a good job at blending the foundation out. This one only had a few reviews online, but they were all good reviews. I think they were all 4 and 5 stars, but there were only maybe 15 reviews. So far I do really like this. And it's actually giving me a little bit more coverage than this, and that would make sense just because this one is a bit more dense. But I do like it so far. All right, I'm going to quickly do the other side of my face. Yeah, I actually do feel like I can get down with this brush for liquid foundation. It does feel a little bit more uncomfortable in my hand just because it's a bit more stiff. But I do feel like I like the way it's blending my foundation out. When I look up close, I do see a few areas where it can be a bit streaky, more so than the other NYX brush. But I feel like when you just pat it over, the streaks will go away. So yeah, so far I'm really liking this brush. Alright, I'm going to very quickly put on my concealer. This is the Too Faced Born This Way concealer in Mocha. This isn't something that I purchased in the haul, so I'm going to speed through applying this so we can get right to the next haul product. Okay, so I applied my under eye concealer and I also set it with the Pretty Vulgar setting powder. I'm going to set the rest of my face with the Too Faced Born This Way powder foundation, but I'm going to be applying it with my next haul product. This is the It brushes for Ulta. What is this called? the It brushes for Ulta All Over Powder Brush, brush number 211. I just wanted to show y'all how it was packaged really quickly because I do think that's really nice. This was kind of like a splurge product for me. Okay, and this is what the brush looks like. Here's the brush head. So this is the brush that I would normally use to set my face. This is from e.l.f. and I believe this is called the e.l.f. Big Kabuki brush, I think. And I really like this brush. I like how big and dense it is. And it just, to me, it just really does a good job of setting the powder on your face. But I've always wanted a brush that's nice and big and dense like this, but something with a handle on it. So when I was looking at one, or looking for one on Ulta's website, this one had a whole lot of reviews. It had almost 250 reviews, and I think it only had like less than 5 of those reviews that did not give it a 4 or 5 star rating. This one did cost $40, so like I said, it was kind of like a splurge for me. There was another brush that I was thinking about getting from e.l.f. that is pretty similar to this one, but I said this one just has so many good reviews. A lot of people said that even though it costs $40, it's worth the price tag, so I decided to try it out. So like I said, I'm going to use my Too Faced Powder Foundation to set my face. So I'm just going to pick up a good amount of this on the brush, and I'm just going to pack it into my face. This is really nice and fluffy. It does feel really good on the skin. I did read a couple of reviews. People said that they thought that this brush was too big for the face. But for me, it's a really perfect size. And I really don't want to stop doing this because it does feel really good. So far, I'm satisfied with this. This does feel really nice. It's like really fluffy. It feels more comfortable than my e.l.f. brush. Yeah, I really like this. I am going to put just a little bit of this, like, kind of just like brush it on my under eye area, because for some reason today I feel like that Pretty Vulgar powder is coming off kind of ashy, which it normally doesn't do. So just gonna dab a little bit of it on the under eye area also. Let me move on to the next product because I don't want to put this brush down. So far I do really like this. It costs $40, but it's really good. I really like it. All right, I'm going to do my brows off camera so we can go to the next new product. Okay, next new product is the MAC Pro Longwear Paint Pot in the shade Painterly. This is the packaging here, and I just want to show y'all the shade. I decided to get this shade because it's a really nice, like, pinky beige color. I've been wanting to try this out for a very long time, but I just couldn't bring myself to buy it because it costs $22. And I kept saying I have all these other concealers that I already own that I'm trying to use up. But I said with the 20% off coupon, let me try it out. So I decided to pick this one up. So I'm going to use this as a eyeshadow base for today. Alright, so I'm going to pick up my e.l.f. concealer brush. This is actually an eyeshadow brush. It's called the e.l.f. C eyeshadow brush, but I always use it to apply concealer to my lids. So I'm just going to use this to pick up some of the product, and I'm just going to dab this on my eyelid. So in case this is your first time watching one of my videos, I do always use 2 concealers on my lid. So where I'm placing this paint pot, I like to put a lighter shade right here on the lid where I'm gonna put colors that I want to pop, or if I want to like accentuate a color. And then closer to my brow bone, I like putting a muted color up there because I just feel like it's easier to blend out like a transition shade or like a a shade that I'm just using to like bring the whole look together. I don't necessarily need that particular eyeshadow to really pop. So first impression on this, I really like the way that it applies. It feels like a really good formula. And just keep in mind that I'm nowhere near a pro when it comes to eyeshadow, but I have other concealers. Most of the things that I use on my lid, they are concealers, but I do have a couple of eyeshadow primers. And some of them are either like really sticky, and then some of them are kind of like not sticky enough. This one feels like perfect. So on the rest of my lid toward my brow bone, I'm going to go in with the LA Girl Pro Concealer. This isn't a new product. This is pretty much what I use up here. So as you can see, that's more of like the color of my skin. And I'm just going to blend it out with the same brush, just turning it to the other side. And like I said, normally I'm going to go over this particular area with a more muted shade. And I just think it's easier to cover this area up with eyeshadow when I'm using something that's just not so bright. Because when I used to use like all one shadow on my lid, I would have to put a whole lot of eyeshadow up here to cover up the primer or the concealer. I really like this so far. I like the color of it too. I have a cool undertone, so I tend to gravitate toward things that have pink tones to them. All right, my next new product is the Milani, what is this called again? The Milani, I can never remember the name of stuff. This is the Milani Gilded Rouge eyeshadow palette. This is the packaging here. And this is the color scheme here. So they had another palette. It's called the Gilded Noir palette, and I decided to go with this one because this one looks more like everyday, more like all year round, where the Noir palette is a bit darker, a bit more vampy looking. Now I am a little concerned about this one because I did read a review on Ulta's website for the Gilded Noir palette. The person who wrote the review, they bought both of the palettes, but they said they geared the review toward the other one, but it was kind of based on both of them. And this person gave this both of the palettes like a really bad review. It was like a scathing review. And then I went to Milani's website and someone gave this palette a bad review also. So I kind of got a little concerned. But then I did watch some other YouTube videos on both of the palettes, and it seems like it's hit or miss. Some people like it, some people don't. So let me see. Let's do a couple of swatches before I do a look. So let's start off with this shade here, Sangria. So that's just one finger swatch. And I feel like it's not super pigmented, but when you look at this shade in the pan, it kind of doesn't look all that pigmented in the pan either. But I just built it up, and I do think that looks a lot better. And let's try one of these glittery shades down here. Let's try the shade Wifey. Are these like pressed glitters? Oh, this one is really nice. That one is a really nice swatch. I really like that one. And then let's try a shimmer shade. Let's go with the shade Carrot, that yellow shade there. Ooh, that swatched really nicely too. That's really nice. I usually don't go for yellow shadow at all, but I'm feeling like I want to go for something yellow. I really like that swatch. Really nice. Okay, I think I am going to take this shade Carrot. No, I'm sorry. I'm going to take the shade on Taupe instead. I am going to put Carrot somewhere on the lid, but I think I'm going to start off with this shade here on Taupe. And it's basically a shimmery taupe color. I'm going to take that and apply it all over the lid. And first impression on this particular color, I really like it. To me, it's really pigmented. And my brush is dry. I feel like that's pretty good for a dry brush. Yeah, I really like that color. I feel like this is a good like everyday shimmery color for me. Yeah, I like that color. That is nice. I'm gonna go back to the first eye and see if I can extend the color up a little bit. I just want to make sure that it really shows on my lid because I do have very hooded lids, so I'm just moving the shade up a little bit. Let me know what y'all think. I really, really love this color. Okay, at some point my camera stopped recording, so this is my first time filming on my camera in quite some time. So I feel like I'm trying to relearn what I'm doing with my camera, and I'm just realizing that one of my lights was not on my face, so I do apologize if the lighting is going to change a little bit. But what I was trying to say was now I'm going to pick up this shade Carrot, the yellow shade, and I'm going to pick up, this is the Luxie 209 large shader brush. This one is just a little less tapered than the brush that I was just using, and I'm going to apply the shade Carrot right in the middle of this shimmery taupe color that we have on the lid. And I'm kind of just like patting it on. And for me to just be like patting this on and I'm not really like rubbing it in, I feel like this one is like super pigmented as well. So far I've only used 2 shimmer shades so far, but I'm really liking this palette so far. I feel like both of the shades that I used, they're really nice and pigmented. But we're gonna try one of the matte shades in just a little bit. Yeah, I really like that. This color scheme is something that I would like never do. I usually do like pinks and purples, rose gold type colors. Very warm colors like this I would normally stay away from. But I do really like that. Okay, we're gonna go in with this shade here, Overbaked. This is like a almost like an orangey, rusty matte shade. And I'm gonna use this this particular shade does have like a good amount of fallout, but that doesn't bother me. But I'm gonna use this to kind of like diffuse the look up at the top. Just kind of bring everything together and try and prevent it from looking so harsh. Whenever I blend out a shade up here, I like to try to really blend it in with whatever shimmer I have going on right here, because I don't really care for like the super harsh lines. I like for the look to be quite blended. And sometimes I don't get to blend it like as much as I want to, but my goal is to always have it nice and blended right here. I'm going to take that same shade on an angled liner brush, and I'm going to hit the outer part of the lower lash line with this. So I'm kind of like patting and blending at the same time. And I usually just like for shadows to be just like right on the outer corner. I usually don't put shadow all over my lower lash line. Then I'm gonna go back into the same shade with my blender brush one more time. And I'm just kind of like connecting my top and bottom shadows. Eyeshadow is very tricky for me because not only do I have hooded lids, but my skin actually folds down like right on the corner. So I find it very difficult to blend eyeshadow like right in the outer corner. Okay, so far I do really like that. We're gonna finish up with the eyes a little bit later. I'm gonna move on to, what am I moving on to? I'm moving on to bronzer. So this is not a new product for me. This is the Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer. This is like my new favorite bronzer. So this is in the shade Endless Summer. I am pretty sure I used this in my last video too. Because I've been using it like crazy. So I'm just going to apply some of this on my cheeks. On my temples and all over my forehead, or not all over, but I guess along my hairline. I do like a really subtle bronzer, and I feel like this one is a bit, I guess, stronger than some of the other bronzers that I like, but I don't mind it because I think the color of it is really perfect on my skin. And I know it may seem like I'm just kind of like throwing the bronzer all over the place, but that's kind of how I like to apply it so that it doesn't look too harsh. And then I like taking residual bronzer and hitting my jawline. This is one of those areas where if I add product here, I'll end up adding too much and it'll look too harsh. I'm switching over to a smaller brush so that I can lightly bronze my nose. And because I don't like for my nose to look too defined, I'm going to go back into my foundation brush and I'm just going to very lightly tap over the bronzer. That will soften the lines a little bit and just prevent it from looking like too harsh. Okay, so this next new product is another one that I'm kind of sort of worried about. This is the NYX Sweet Cheeks Matte Bronzer. This is the packaging here, and you guys can pretty much see through the packaging, but let me show you the actual product if I could get it open. Okay, so this is the color of the bronzer. I never ever buy bronzers this color. I mean, blushes this color, but this one, I don't know, like I just kept looking at it and I kept gravitating to it. Like, I don't know why. I'll show you the blush that I use on most days. This is the Note Cosmetics blush in Desert Rose. So you see the difference in the colors. These are the colors that I typically go for in a blush. I like orangey, peachy, corally type blushes. This one, I feel like even though I have a cool undertone, I gravitate toward things that are like cool toned. I feel like my blush needs to be warm toned to kind of like offset everything. But I don't know. I really wanted to try this, and they didn't have one in like an orangey shade. Otherwise I would have gotten two. So I'm going to try this, but I'm telling you right now, if I don't like it, I am going to go on top of it with my Note Cosmetics blush. So we'll see how this goes. I do think it's quite pigmented for a blush. Like, I feel like blushes shouldn't be super pigmented. Otherwise, it's going to be very easy for you to apply way too much. So I feel like this one does have a good level of pigmentation. You can see it, but it's not super harsh. And I do actually like this. I feel like it's making my face look a bit monochromatic because of the shade that I have up here on my eyes. But I like this. Now in terms of the formula and all that, it's a straight up matte blush, which I love. This blush does have a little bit of luminosity to it, and I don't mind that in a blush, but I love a straight up matte blush with like no shine to it whatsoever, and that's what this one does. So far I do really like it. I don't know if I'm gonna pick it up very often because of the shade, but I can see myself wearing this. I feel like I would try it again if I were wearing like different colors on my eyes, because like I said, I feel like there's no like contrast on my face right now because the blush color is kind of like really matching the eye color, and I like a little contrast going on. But so far I really do like that. Believe it or not, I actually did not buy a new highlighter because I feel like I just have way too many highlighters and I need to just calm down and stop buying too many highlighters. So I am going to use pretty much the one that I use on a regular basis. I just have to find it. Ugh. Okay, this is the Galactic. This is actually a blush, and I feel like I may have used this in my last video too. This is the Galactic Star Blush in the shade Naples, but I have been using this as a highlighter, so that's what I'm going to do today. I like applying my highlighters with a duo fiber brush because I feel like with the way that the brushes, like the way that the bristles are shaped, they just don't apply the highlighter in a really straight line. It kind of like diffuses it, I guess, on your face. This particular shade is a really subtle blush. I feel like it adds highlight without being like too shiny and too shimmery. I'm also going to put a little bit of this right along the brow bone. And again, I like using this brush for my brow bone because I like for my highlighter to like trickle down on my lid instead of it being concentrated right along the brow bone. I'm going to set everything in place with the Rimmel Stay Matte Setting Spray, not a new product for today. Okay, I went ahead and threw on some eyeliner off camera, and the next new product was actually a gift with purchase. So I got this for free for buying the Milani palette. This is the Milani highly rated 10-in-1 volume mascara. So it's just a mini version of the mascara. I have two other mascaras that I've been using lately that I absolutely love. So I'm curious to see how I'm going to feel about this one. And mascaras are another product that I need to calm down on because I just have way too many. And a lot of them, I end up throwing them away because I'll use them for like a few weeks and I'll buy another one and then won't go back to the other one and then it'll go bad. So, but I got this one for free, so. All right, here's the wand. And I do like wands like this. I like it when the bristles are like very densely packed. And again, if you're new here, I do not wear false lashes. So I do tend to take my mascara quite seriously. First impression with this mascara, I'm not impressed by it. I feel like I don't have any product. When I compare the formula of it, can you guys see some of the mascara on the very tip of the wand? It's a really thick formula. Like the other two mascaras that I really love, one of them is the Butter London Power Up mascara, and I'm actually not going to say the other one because I may do a video on it, so I don't want to spoil it. But those two mascaras, the formula is a lot more like a whipped formula. This one is like really thick, and I'm finding it hard to apply. I'm gonna have to go over this with another mascara because I'm just not, I can't deal with this. But just to keep it consistent, I'm gonna put some on the other eye as well. It actually, now that I have it on and I'm looking in the mirror, it doesn't look that bad. I just found it hard to apply this. Like the formula is just too thick. This mascara isn't bad, but it's not like one of my favorites either. I feel like I had to really work with it to get it to, you know, look the way I wanted it to look. And I think it's just like a nuisance to deal with it. Which I'm surprised at, because even though I didn't pay for this, it was a gift with purchase. I did read some of the reviews on it and most people seem to like it. I don't really care for it. I feel like it looks a bit clumpy, but it's not horrible, but it looks a bit clumpy. And I feel like because I had to put so much of it on, like I can actually feel it. Whereas most mascaras that I like, they are very lightweight and I can't really feel them. So not really feeling this, but you know, I didn't pay for it. It was free, so. Okay, the last new product that I have is the NYX Suede Matte Lipstick, and I got the color Brunch Me. Now, I have, I think, maybe 4 of the liquid suede lipsticks, and even though I don't wear liquid lipsticks that much, that line of lipsticks I do really like, so I was really excited when they came out with this. I don't believe that they have this shade though in the liquid version. Now when I opened this earlier, because I did open it to look at it, I dropped it on my table, so that's why it looks kind of mangled, because I dropped it all over the place. But this shade is obviously like a very nice nude shade. I'm not sure if I'm gonna have to go in with a liner with this one, but we're gonna go straight in with this just to see what it looks like. And I'm hoping that it feels like a bullet formula of the liquid suede lipsticks. I really like this. I feel like I'm really bad at putting lipstick on, so bear with me. Okay, I feel like if I were to wear this again, I would definitely pair it with a liner, but it doesn't look bad without a liner, you know? It's a bit more, I guess a bit more peachy than what I would normally go for, but I do really like it. I do. Okay, I just put my hair down a little bit. So this is my finished look using all of my 20% off haul products from Ulta. Let me know what y'all think. Just to wrap everything up, I think my favorite product that I tried today is this $40 powder brush. I love this thing. Like, I could not stop putting this on my face. I would agree, I've only used it once, but I would agree that so far this is definitely worth the $40 price tag. I'm just hoping that it holds up when I wash it and the bristles don't come out, but it's really pretty and it's really soft and it feels really luxurious on the skin. Surprisingly, I do really like this brush. I thought that the brush head was going to be bigger than what it is, but when I saw how small it was, I didn't think I was going to like it, but I do really like this one. I really also love the paint pot. I feel like I'm going to be using this like crazy until I use it up. Like I said earlier, the formula for this, for applying eyeshadow, I thought was really, really good. It wasn't too sticky and it wasn't too soft. It was like just the right formula for adhering to your eyelid. So far, what I've used in this palette, I am really liking, which I'm very happy about, because like I said, I saw some mixed reviews on this and I really like the look that I did today, but I feel like you have a whole lot of options here. I love it when palettes are very like compact, but they offer you a whole lot of options, and I feel like this is a good example of this. The blush, I really hope that they come out with more colors, because I do really like this formula. But I could, like I said earlier, I could see myself wearing this shade, but it's not like a go-to shade for me. But I do really like the formula of it, and I love the fact that there's absolutely no shimmer in this whatsoever. And the lipstick, I feel like I'm gonna buy other shades because it does feel like the liquid Suede lipstick, but in bullet formula, which I really do like. And they do have, I think every shade that they have in the liquid formula, they have in the bullet formula plus other shades, I believe. I know I saw a couple of the shades that I had in the liquid formula in this one. So far I am really liking this. I haven't really tested it with like eating and everything because I'm just not expecting it to stay on. The liquid one, if I recall correctly, the liquid one does stay on, but not completely. But that's not a big deal for me. And I feel like I'm forgetting something. Or is that it? And this one, the gift with purchase, I'm not really all that excited about it. I don't think I'm going to pick this up again. But I do also want to mention that I also got this bag from Milani. So we got this and this. If you spent, I don't know how much you had to spend to get these for free, but that Milani palette was $19.99. And I feel like you had to spend $15 in Milani purchases to get these for free. And this bag is actually bigger than I thought it was going to be. Like, I feel like you can fit a good amount of stuff in this bag. Okay, y'all, so that is it for today's video. I really hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please let me know by giving me a thumbs up. And I hope to see y'all back for my next one. Until then, take care. Have a good one, y'all. Bye.